Your boy about to make a cameo. Hold on. Let's go! Let's go!
Yo, what is up, Raidernation? It's your boy Small Raider back at it again with yet another video. If this is the very first time you guys are coming across the channel and you love Raiders content, then hit that subscribe button, hit that notification icon button to notify you guys when I upload more videos just like this. First and foremost, I want to give a huge thank you to each and every single one of you guys because we finally officially hit 50,000 subscribers on the channel. Let's go, man. Of course, like I said before, man, I appreciate each and every one of you guys for continuing to support the channel. And man, it's been a long journey, but we finally here. With that being said, all that aside though, let's talk about some things going on today. First and foremost, I want to talk about the NFL schedule, and the Raiders will be dropping their schedule tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But they did leave us with a little bit of a clue on one of the games that could possibly be the home opener for the Raiders, or at least week one for the Raiders. They posted this on their social media account, and you guys can kind of guess where they're kind of going with this. Now, of course, after watching that, I think obviously it comes down to the Broncos or maybe even the Colts, and the fact that looking at their caption, it was titled Mondays, am I right? And that can only mean one thing, that we're going to be playing either the Broncos or either the Colts on Monday Night Football, meaning that the Raiders could at least have one primetime game. Now, if you were to ask me, I honestly think that the Raiders could be facing the Broncos on Monday Night Football to start the season off. And I feel like the Raiders have always started off, well, most likely have started off most of their seasons off against AFC West rivals. So it could either be the Chiefs, Chargers, or Broncos. But I think after facing the Chargers last year to start off week one, I think this year we're going to be starting off with the Denver Broncos, which I don't think would be a bad matchup at all. Now, looking at the rest of the schedule, the Raiders got a lot of tough opponents this year, but I think that we're up for the challenge with Pete Carroll and this new regime, with the new quarterback and Geno Smith, with getting Ashton Jeanty, a high-powered offense going into this new year with this new regime. I feel a lot more comfortable going into the season, and I don't think that this team wants to run away from any of the smoke. Now, really looking at the opponents that we are facing, some of the games that I'm really looking forward to this season, of course, is going to be some of our AFC West rivals. The Chiefs are always going to be on the top of that list. The Chargers, oh my goodness, man. I cannot wait for those Charger matchups with Jim Harbaugh versus Pete Carroll. Those are going to be some fun matchups to watch, especially with the history that they got and just the history in general that the Raiders and the Chargers have, especially in the past couple of years. And I'm going to be looking forward to that LA game. Pete Carroll gets to go back to LA, play in LA against his arch nemesis and Jim Harbaugh. And the fact that we haven't won a game at SoFi Stadium has been really, really frustrating, especially for a fan that has been going to almost every single LA game over there, and we've been getting embarrassed every single year. I just hope that this year is a little bit different. So I'm really going to be looking forward to that game for sure. Now, I'm going to look forward to that Philadelphia Eagles game in Philly because we're going to see Saquon Barkley facing off against the rookie sensation in Ashton Jeanty. That's going to be two high-powered running backs, and it'll be interesting to see what they both can do, especially Ashton Jeanty in this new offense. Of course, we've seen what Saquon Barkley was able to do last year. I just hope that we can keep the same energy there. Not only that, we're going up against the Super Bowl champs, so we're really going to be tested this year offensively and even defensively. Another game to really look out for, of course, is always going to be the Dallas Cowboys. They're coming over here to Las Vegas, so we know we're going to get a lot of Cowboy fans coming over here and traveling. And this is definitely going to be a game that a lot of people would want to win, especially Raider fans, because we'll at least have some bragging rights over the Cowgirls. And another game that I think would be interesting to watch is watching the Raiders go up against the Titans. We get to see Cam Ward go up against this team. I think that's just the main reason why I want to watch that game, as well as the Jaguars, just to see how Travis Hunter and even Trevor Lawrence and those guys will do up against our defense. So those are games that I'm really looking forward to. But all in all, schedule release week is always a fun week because we finally get to see and finally get to put dates to opponents, and we get to kind of plan out how our season is going to be, and if we want to go to this game, these home games, away games. Everybody's always excited, especially when it comes down to the Las Vegas Raiders, because I know a lot of opposing fans like coming to Las Vegas. They like to make the travel. That's why there's so many opposing fans at our stadium. Until we actually win, then I think a lot of things will possibly change. But outside of all of that, I'm just really excited to see how the Raiders schedule will look. And I'm also excited to see how the Raiders schedule release video will look as well. I know I'm gonna be a little bit biased here to say that last year's schedule release video was by far my favorite one, because I was actually in the schedule release video. And funny story, I know I never really got to talk about this on my channel because last year I wasn't really on my channel. But since I'm on my channel now, and since we hit 50K, man, I just want to kind of talk about my little story about how I ended up on the NFL or on the Raiders schedule release video last year with Antonio Pierce. Now, I got a lot of good connections. I'm good friends with a lot of people in the Raiders organization. And one day I got hit up by one of the guys close to the Raiders and asked me in Fitz if we wanted to be in the schedule release. He said, hey, you doing anything tomorrow night, 6 p.m. stadium? I said, no, I'm free. And they said, for sure, come through. We're shooting a schedule release. Just be there at that time, yada, yada. So, you know, me being all hyped up, man, I made sure to go get a haircut. I made sure that I had all my gear ready. And lo and behold, being the Simone Raider, I showed up a little bit late to the set. We were supposed to be there at 6 p.m. I got there probably like at 6:08 or something like that, 6:10 maybe, because I was rushing from a lot of different places. But I got to be there, and funny enough, they put me in the back of the line. So I was in the back. I was like, damn. As you guys can see the video, my boy Mr. Fitz was there early, and he got to be in the front. And the whole thing was me and Fitz were supposed to be right behind Antonio Pierce, but since Anusa showed up late, I got thrown in the back like Rosa Parks. So honestly, I thought I wasn't even going to be in the video. They were shooting a couple takes with Antonio Pierce. One, it was pretty cool to see him over there and, you know, just be in that environment. And two, watching the whole thing, even seeing the little monitor that they had, I was barely even in the clip. So I was like, why do I even have to do anything? But shout out to the team, the production team. They were looking for people to do that one line that we all said in the video. And I remember them kind of talking amongst each other, and they were looking for 3 or 4 people, and they were pointing around, and I seen them point at me, and I was like, oh shoot, I don't know if they're gonna ask me. So after they got out of their little huddle, they came over to me and asked, hey, are you okay with doing some lines? I said, hell yes. You don't even have to ask me twice. And I just had to make sure I had to remember the lines that I had to say. Man, I did it like what? One take, Jake. No, I'm joking. It only took me like 2 or 3 takes, and that was it. And I didn't know how the schedule release was going to look. We did that whole scene over there with Antonio Pierce right in front of the Legion Stadium. That's where we got to get our picture. With me and Fitz got to get the picture that I've been posting everywhere, you know. But all of that, they sent me some videos to kind of hype up the schedule release coming out soon. But I was really nervous into seeing how it would actually pan out, whether or not I was going to be in the video or not, because there was also some other scenes that were shot that were not even in the video. Shout out to my guy Raider Singh. He had a whole segment on there, you know, him doing the beating the drums or whatever, I don't even know what it's called, but and we were right behind him, we were hyping him up, the whole thing. But that was never showed in the video. But to see when Antonio Pierce started talking and then my mug showed up, I was like, oh I ain't gonna lie with you guys, I was really excited after I seen that clip, and I was like, damn. I remember watching it. I felt like I should have did a whole reaction video. I did have a reaction video. I kind of just sat there with my daughter and watched the whole thing. But I'm not gonna lie to you guys, when Oos watched it over, man, I just started tearing up, man. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I really started tearing up, and I couldn't even talk. Like, I was trying to record a video just for my reaction and just to have it in my archives, just to have it as a memories, but just to think about the journey that I've been on, to see the relationships I built, to see all the networking that I've done to work my way into that, and just to finally be in a schedule release video, because I've always done parody videos just for the fun of it, always wondering if I could be a part of it. But just to be in it and just to see my mug on there and just see it on the Raiders YouTube channel, it was surreal to me. And the funny thing is, when I was watching it, I had a feeling that I was on it when people were tagging me and blowing me up on my phone, and I see my phone blowing up. It's like, oh shoot, I might be in it, until I finally see my scene. And man, I ain't gonna lie, it really hit home, man. And it really makes me want to push to continue to do what I'm doing with the content and stuff like that. Now, I don't want to keep rambling about this because I know this was last year, but who cares? I want to talk about it right now since I didn't get a chance to do it last year. But I also have to give a huge thank you to you guys, because if it wasn't for you guys' support on the channel and just reposting, liking, sharing, and even fucking with me at the games and just taking pictures and all that, I don't think that I would have even been on the Raiders radar. But again, I think that was definitely a fun memory for me, and that's definitely gonna be something checked off of my bucket list for sure. But I say all that to say that I'm excited to see what the Raiders drop tomorrow. I don't know what kind of style they're going to be going with in the scheduled release video, but it's definitely going to be one to really watch out for. Until the next video, this your boy Simone Raider, and your boy is, yeah.
They'll knock you round and upside down.
And he'll laugh when he's conquered and won.
Let's go.